So I was searching and searching and searching, and a friend in LA sent me a letter. The only words I ever remembered were, Donna Summer got born again. And I thought, that sounds good. What does that mean? I didn't really know who God was. I mean, being Jewish, he was Adonai, Elohim. But on this day, I was talking to God, and I said to him, born again, that sounds good to me. How do you get born again?
Hey guys, it's Garrett coming to you live from Daily Divers. It's your Daily Dive Disciple. I've got a really cool one here for you. This is a lady who, her husband left her, but she came to Jesus. Jesus found her. So this is another Jewish testimony for Testimonial Tuesdays. Before I get too ahead of myself, if this helps you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, so we can get the word out. And stay to the end. I got some biblical teachings at the very end, so you can kind of see how this relates to the Bible in particular. But let's get started.
No matter how many clothes I bought, no matter how many houses we had, my life was empty. It's like I had a hole inside me. My parents were not happily married.
It actually says in the Bible that it turns to ash in your mouth. Actually, it turns to ash in your mouth. So, physical things don't fill you. Only God can.
When I was about 5 years old, I would talk to God and I would say, Dear God, I think you've made a mistake. I'm not supposed to be with this family. And I would talk like that practically every night because of my unhappiness. My father backed horses during the day and greyhounds during the night. He was very unfaithful to my mother. He had several affairs. Growing up, it wasn't a happy place. Well, as time went by, I met the man that I was going to marry. He actually managed a young man called Jack Wilde. Soon after that, he was introduced to a band called Yes. They went on the road with the first concerts in America. But as the tour went on, Yes's album started to climb and climb and climb and do so well. The joy of it was short-lived because I had to live my life myself. All this time I was alone in London, and they were away for 6 weeks. We lived in one house and then we'd move to another, and as things became more successful, I was always alone. No matter how many clothes I bought, no matter how many houses we had, my life was empty. It's like I had a hole inside me.
So we often think that money buys happiness. It clearly does not. But no matter what she did, as she said, that didn't bring happiness, which we know of a lot of people. Suicide rate in the celebrity world and in the rich and famous is pretty high because it doesn't bring happiness. No, it doesn't bring joy. Happiness is fleeting, right? You need joy everlasting, which is Jesus Christ.
Sitting at home waiting for Brian to come home from the tours was very difficult. And then when he came home, it was like a stranger, and he wasn't a good communicator. I had no idea at the time, or maybe I did, but I was in denial and I didn't want to look at things as they were, that he was actually having affairs. So I was searching and searching and searching, and a friend in LA sent me a letter. The only words I ever remembered were, Donna Summer got born again. And I thought, that sounds good. What does that mean? I didn't really know who God was. I mean, being Jewish, he was Adonai, Elohim. But on this day, I was talking to God, and I said to him, born again, that sounds good to me. How do you get born again? How can I make restitution for everything wrong that I have done in my life? At this point in time, I went with Brian into Beverly Hills, and he dropped me at my friend Frankie's house. And we went to this place called Carlos and Charlie's on Sunset. And then this woman arrived, and she sat opposite me at the table. Her name is Susan Mineo, and she managed Donna Summer. And I could not stop staring at her. So I said to her, Susan, "Can I ask you a question?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Are you born again?" She said, "Yes." And I looked at her and I said, "You have something that I want, and I know that I can't buy it with money."
Sounds like the Bible, right? You know, a guy came up to Peter and said that he wanted to buy, it was a false prophet, buy what he had. And he said, "Cursed will you be, thinking you can buy the gifts of God with money." But isn't that awesome? She saw the light coming from someone.
Wanted the peace that I saw in Susan Mineo's eyes. I had been searching for that peace my whole life. Through my unhappy childhood, through my time of smoking dope, snorting coke, taking sleeping pills, drinking. And so at the table, they held my hands and I prayed. I accepted Yeshua. That's just the beginning. When Brian found out that I had received the Lord, he went crazy. "What are you doing? You're Jewish. This is all anti-Semitism, blah, 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 blah." I never really talked to Brian about what was in the Bible. I wasn't one of those people that hit him over the head with the Bible and all that stuff. I just quietly prayed. And I lived what I had been reading. But eventually, he left. I stayed in that marriage for 3 years. I decided that I would get a divorce. If you read Isaiah 53, it tells you that he was pierced for our transgressions. All our iniquities were put on him. And those stripes that were on his back are the very things that heal us. Because I was so lost in my heart, I know this to be true. So I would say to people that say to me, "You can't be Jewish and believe in Jesus," I would say, "I'm Jewish and I do believe in Jesus."
Wow, what a great testimony. I mean, even to show that not only did she have the world, it wasn't good enough. I mean, her marriage was falling apart and it didn't bring her joy. And there's only one thing that can do that, which is, Jesus Christ, which is such a beautiful testimony. And she just honestly ready to write the scripture. And so let's kind of jump into that. Like, what am I talking about? So Zechariah 9:16, I'm gonna get right into it. So on that day, the Lord their God will save them as the flock of his people, for like the jewels of a crown, they shall shine on his land. And so she saw that and wanted it, right? She wanted that. And then 2 Peter 1:19, it says, "And we have a more prophetic word, more fully confirmed, to which you will do well to pay attention as to a lamp shining in a dark place, until the day dawns and the morning star rises in your hearts." Which, who is that? Who is that, right? Jesus entering their heart. Well, I mean, it tells you here in Revelations 22:16, "I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you a testimony for the churches. I am the root of the offspring of David, the bright and morning star." So it's referring to him, right? Until he comes into your hearts. So he does. It rises, and people see it and they want it, right? Which is the point. You don't, as he said, you don't light a lamp and put it underneath a bushel, right? You leave it out for all to see, right? And then Isaiah 60:1-3, it says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and thick darkness the peoples. But the Lord will rise upon you, and his glory will be seen upon you. And the nations shall come to your light, and the kings to the brightness of your rising." So that's literally what happened to her. She saw that and wanted that. She and it actually came to someone who knew it, and she just knew by looking at him, right? Which was amazing. It was amazing. So anyway, if this helped you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, share it to a friend. But I'll keep having them coming for Testimonial Tuesdays for you guys. But till the next one, see you guys. Bye bye.